What it do, gaming family? What's going on with you guys? We are back once again. It is your boys at A Victory Road, a gaming podcast, and I am the Husky Hokage. And as always, my man is with my brother from another, the Dub, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the Dub.
How everybody doing?
And
we got Big Husk over there. We got a very special guest with us today.
Yes, sir. We have a very special guest with us today. YouTube content creator, YouTuber, TikToker, you name it. He games, he does interviews, he's at cons, man. Check all this stuff out. But we have Marc from Blerography. Marc, how you doing, man?
What's going on? I am tired of being the hardest working man in content creation.
Bro.
So tell us, let everybody know what all you do, man, and just kind of talk your shit for a second. Go ahead, tell everybody about you and what you do and what your content consists of, please.
All right, so again, my name is Marc. My channel is called Blerography. It's a channel where I like to highlight people of color and Black people mainly in the nerd and blerd spaces, and just kind of showcase what people of color do as nerds, whether it's cosplay, whether it's photography, video, creating and writing comics, going to conventions, whatever the case may be. I just like to highlight people within the diaspora, within the nerd space, and not only tell my story, but tell their stories. Right now, I'm in the middle of my celebrating Blerd History 365, honoring Black History Month. I'm in the middle of editing and working on my first filmmaking venture, a documentary called Black and Nerdy. I'm happy I can finally start talking about that. So that should be coming out hopefully later in the year, but I'm gonna let it work its magic and do itself. And I do a bunch of interviews, press for cons, get to interview a lot of celebrities. I do a lot of work with a lot of local conventions here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in the middle of working with Tony K and Tanya Woods and a bunch of other amazing nerds for the Atlanta Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo. Later this year, I'll be at MomoCon covering press, and then I'll also be covering press for Ranger Stop and Pop. It's the last year for Ranger Stop and Pop, and kind of sad to see that go, but it's one of my favorite conventions. So I'm teaming up with a bunch of other press outlets to just kind of spread the word and promote the convention and do special episodes. We already released our January episode last week. It's on my channel now. You can go check it out. And boy, I do a lot of stuff. Plus, I have a podcast. Yeah. It's called Blerdcast, where Husky Hokage was on. I'm literally before we sat down and started recording, was editing that episode, and it was really interesting. Got a lot more questions to ask you just because of the whole Pokemon theme of this podcast. So, this is gonna be fun. Let's go.
I'm glad you said that, because one of my first questions for you was, how did you come up with Blerography? How did the idea come about? When did it manifest and everything like that?
That is a good question. So I'm over the last, it's 2025. So I will say the last 11, 12 years, I've on and off jumped on YouTube and tried to create content with friends or, whatever the case may be. I started out with a channel called Game Blerd, where it was a bunch of our friends. We were just making skits about video games and stuff and just being basically ratchet kids in college. And then that led me to doing Filming While Black, which was a really popular, short-lived YouTube channel where, again, a bunch of my friends, we came up and just made skits, being Black nerds. The most popular video from that is the video called Basic Anime Bitch, starring yours truly, written by Francesca Scott, shot by Marcel Williams, starring Polarius Walls, Robert Majette. It was a little funny little video, and that kind of got a little notoriety. We started a little show called Rage Candy, where we was reviewing pop culture things. At the time, it was The Legend of Korra, and I think The Walking Dead. And then the channel died. Overnight, it died because of one bad skit. Story for another day. And then after that, I just fell into doing my own photography and video, as learning, self-teaching myself photography and video. Started a photography business. And I was going to cons just because I'm a nerd and I go to cons anyway. So I think in 2016 I started doing cosplay photography, and in 2019 I kind of started going down the path of creating Blerdography. In 2021 I created the channel, did my first video about MomoCon being canceled because we was in the middle of the world ending at that time and everybody was in lockdown. And ever since then of February 2021, oh man, 3 years. No, it's 4 years.
Going on 4
years.
years. Going
Yeah,
on
4 years. It's coming up. Like you just keep working on stuff and you just forget these things are coming up. But yeah, my 4-year anniversary is coming up.
It's February now that I think about. I'm thinking it's
right.
January. It's February now.
Right. That's why I'm sitting here like, man, it's been 4 years because like the 21st of February is coming up. So yeah, 4 years I've been on YouTube. I haven't looked back. I start out again just doing like little pop culture reviews of like what Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Don't want to talk about it. I couldn't even finish that series online because of how it ended. And just other things in Black culture like that was coming out. Like at the time it was Coming to America. I did a review on that. That movie's garbage and brings shame to us as a culture. Shame on everybody who had an involvement in that movie. Shame on them. And then from there, I just started like just making vlogs at the cons and doing cosplay photography stuff. And like somebody at the convention noticed and started giving me press passes, and the rest is history. I've just been running ever since. Sorry, I know it took a minute to get there, but it's been a journey. And that was the good question. I never thought of it like that. Like, how did I start doing that? I just started doing stuff because it was the pandemic.
Yeah,
I like that because you helped me come up with more questions. I had a list of questions, but I got some. Like as you talk, it's like branching out. You know how like on Marvel, like the you got the main timeline, the what's called the
6.6
timeline.
The sacred timeline. You know how it started branching off. That's how my mind works. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm guessing you're not watching the Captain America movie that's coming.
I am going to watch it. Here's my thing. All right, here's my thing. I love seeing our people like being highlighted and put on the main stage, but then we get this all this backlash, the controversy that Anthony Mackie said about the role or the character or the mantle of Captain America. The fact that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier ended so terribly with a Dr. King speech, and it's Black History Month. It's just so much goes into this, but I will go watch it. I'm going to support it. However, I have to mention I am going through my superhero fatigue. Just being honest, the MCU kind of killed itself, and I guess we're watching it die. But hopefully, this will be one of the good parts of what phase we're on, 5, 6. I forget what they're doing now.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Black characters, I heard that they're supposed to be kind of fix that situation with Jonathan Majors a little bit. So hopefully that kind of works itself out. But also I could tell that you really do this shit because when you were like going through your different videos that you did with this person, you shout out the producers and the sound guy, the janitor, shout out everybody that was there, you know what I'm saying? The cat that made a feature. I like that. I got a pro fight. He's like into the film stuff here in LA. So and like when talking to you kind of reminds me of him because he's so detailed about what he talks about certain stuff. So that's why I'm like, this guy that knows what he's doing. You're not new to this, you're true to this.
Well, I mean, again, you asked me where I get started with Blerography, and it wasn't like I just woke up one morning like, I got a camera and a YouTube channel, a Gmail account. Let me go start a YouTube channel. I had a lot of people that not only pushed me to kind of just do something and be great at whatever it is I do, but like motivate me with the things that they're doing. Like I got to shout out Miles Triplet, SVS Productions, Sweater Vest Swag Productions. He's a great indie filmmaker. Check out his work. Is on Tubi. No disrespect, I got to work on that production. The Lost Sex Tape, a bunch of other things. Like just seeing like he's a Black Muslim dude from Albany, Georgia, and he's a really talented filmmaker and a funny dude. Definitely go check out his work. Marcel Williams, he's like been like my best friend. He's been motivating me like, hey, you got a camera, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. Learn how to shoot something, learn how to edit something. Always just be doing something. So I've had like a great support team of just friends and coworkers and allies who've just been like, hey, do something and be great at it. And every time I turn on my camera or I get on camera, trust me, this like being charismatic on camera thing don't come easy. I just try to like just remember where I came from and just thank the people that just push me, because otherwise I would be sitting on the couch playing video games right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you gotta realize your own self potential, and that's something I struggle with a lot. So the fact that I'm here doing this and editing stuff and running my channel, worrying about getting monetized and all this stuff, I never thought I'd be doing stuff like this. So, you know, I gotta just thank everybody that helped me get this far, who lit a fire under my ass. Those are the people.
I hear you on that. And shout out to you, because I know a few months ago that you were they were trying to demonetize you on YouTube, or trying to take your stuff down.
They did.
Well, yeah. So because of you were posting videos, I guess the same video on different other places, and they were flagging it as not original content or something like that.
Yeah. Making content is not easy, and there's like no actual real rubric or guidebook into how to make content or the do's and don'ts. Like, I thought I was making a genius move. Like, hey, I'm gonna take these long form videos and cut them up into little short videos and spread it out all over my platform and get all my numbers back to YouTube, since that's my main platform. That worked, except reuse content.
Yeah.
Yes, you gotta do it the other way around. You know,
you gotta post
make the content on YouTube first, and then let it initialize there, and then go back and later and cut that content up and spread out over the other social media platforms. Fun fact, just since we're on the subject, if I can just offer any advice to any content creator, focus on one platform at a time. If you're trying to like aim for monetization, if YouTube is your main platform, focus on that. TikTok, focus on that, because they all have like similar rules about the reuse content thing. Focus on your main platform for creating content, and then start spreading out to the other platforms.
Speaking of, so we talking about your YouTube. I was going through your channel, I think it was your Instagram, and I saw your TikTok got banned. And I was going to ask you, I found out, but I just want you to tell the people without using certain names, because we had a brother of ours get his YouTube pulled for using said person's name when discussing certain things. But tell us what happened there, brother.
So there's a certain convicted felon that has a lot of notoriety in this country for no apparent reason. And I was talking a lot of crap about him, saying he gave his wife Elon Trump cooties, and they didn't like that. Like, literally, I said that, and I got mass reported.
Wow.
You gotta love America, though, right? And that was like literally right after the day after the TikTok ban.
So they took TikTok ice to your crib.
Basically.
Got you up out of there.
They definitely got me. I couldn't even appeal it. It's just like your account just doesn't exist anymore.
So were you able to make another one since they did the TikTok ban, and they're like weird about like new people coming on?
Well, I already had like multiple accounts, because I'm a middle-aged man and I'm starting to lose my precocity with technology. So I already accidentally made multiple accounts trying to log into my main account one day. So I just went to one of those, and it just worked out. Minus me down 2K followers, but that's fine. We can rebuild, right?
We can rebuild.
Yeah, you can. I hate that. Because I know I personally was trying my hardest at TikTok, but it's like you was just mentioning, you get that fatigue of, I have my regular life, I got other stuff I got to do, and then to sit down and have to try to create content. And with me having, I know myself, like I focus a lot on my main content is about gaming, and true enough, there's a lot of stuff about gaming that I can report on every day. But who wants to? Not a lot of people check for the gaming news every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then what I'm doing, if I'm doing playing a game, I could be, granted, could be recording some content to post, stop up, make clips on, but I don't always play multiplayer games. I'm not always playing Call of Duty. I'm playing something else. You know, sometimes folks don't want to see if you ain't going on a 15-man kill streak on Call of Duty. They just skip right by. You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand the struggle of trying to or wanting to create content and just having that battling that fatigue on a regular basis, man. But I know Dub, you had another question.
Oh no, bro. You know, my mind like a fish. I lost it.
Well, okay, I'll say this. Do you know what it takes to get monetized on TikTok versus what it takes to get monetized on YouTube?
I do not.
All right, so on TikTok, and this kind of blew my mind when I found out, you need 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers.
I know that. I know that part. Yeah.
You got a course post basically daily.
Yeah.
And you got to have 100,000 views in 29 or 30 days. And you have that consistently. And then on top of that, TikTok is constantly cutting back the ad revenue and how much money you actually get. So you're not really making that much money. So you got to like have millions of followers. You got to be a Keith Lee, a Conscious Lee, an Ethan Trace, people like that who just blow up whenever they make any kind of video or any kind of content to make money off of TikTok. That's why people prefer YouTube. But what content creators on TikTok don't understand is YouTube is not the same type of platform that TikTok is. You can't just get on camera on YouTube and just talk over a video and think that's going to be quality content. YouTube is like the cream of the crop when it comes to content. You got to work your way up to get noticed on that algorithm versus on TikTok. You just got a conscious thought or something, or say something stupid or whatever, you can just go viral on TikTok just doing anything, to be honest.
Very demure.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's the dumbest stuff go viral on TikTok, and it's easier. It's a lower bar to entry to create content on TikTok, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, man. And granted, I mean, you know, TikTok, it is what it is. You know, some people get on there and blow up, but like you said, I know on there is, for me, like myself, I've been creating content on TikTok as far as on my current channel for going on 2-3 years now. I don't know how long, but it's been doing it for a minute. And like for a minute there, consistent content, just about, if not every day, every other day, I'm posting some was coming out, but like the growth wasn't there. Like for me, and granted, the people that I did get to know on TikTok, like yourself, like I appreciate, because I got to meet and got to know some genuinely good people, some people who are, you know, other content creators that are out there. They just post a post or whatever the case may be, and they just started getting the following. But kind of like me, I'm talking about game, things of that nature, and getting to meet some people. Great. Now I decided this year myself that I would start posting more long form content, and I would start gravitating towards posting myself or posting things on YouTube, but making those content, making those videos. So right now I got one video up there. I've been trying to figure out a good time limit to post videos. Like I don't want to make them too long, because I was like, the video I posted, I think the first video I posted talking about the Xbox Developer Direct, it was like 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm trying to think if I should stay between 6 to 8 minutes, somewhere along that line. But I'm just, you know, trying to find my niche or find my area or time wise. But yeah, I do want to try to gravitate towards YouTube, because I know it gives me opportunity, because I ramble. And it also, if I'm talking about something that's good and it's quality, I can ramble a little bit more on YouTube and make some good content there. So that's what I plan on doing.
That's good shit for y'all, because I've been on TikTok, I don't know how long. I don't even got a username on that motherfucker. I'm still user 461 blah blah blah. So when that TikTok ban happened, they said folks was dropping 10 bans for. Boy, I was ready to say on my phone, you can even create your own username, my boy, because I ain't picked one.
Now, what I will say from my experience with creating the long form content for YouTube and worrying about how long I should make the content, stop worrying about all that. You're excuse my Japanese, you're fucking overthinking it. Just post content. Just post. Focus on the stuff you can actually control, and the thing you can control is making sure you're posting consistently. I've seen your YouTube channel. I've been motivating you and old man food and anime and a bunch of other TikTokers to focus on their YouTube channels. Just start posting content. Once you start posting content and getting your content out there, you're going to get in the rhythm of creating the content and finding your flow. Granted, it took me 2-3 years to find that flow and realize, oh, this is my flow. Awkward nerd, just be that. Just keep doing it, because, like, again, you're going to go through a lot of stuff. You're going to make thousands of videos before you find that flow. So the sooner you get out there and just start getting used to being on camera, getting used to editing videos, getting used to having long form content. It don't matter if it's 8 minutes or 2 hours, just get on camera and start. Your audience is going to tell you, because what you're doing is you're building an audience. They're going to find you. They're going to either like your personality, like your editing style. They're going to follow you and see your growth. They're going to see your crappy videos and see how each video get better, upload by upload, and they're going to become a fan of you. And you're going to build an audience and not even know that you're building an audience. They're going to say, hey, this video is too long. You're losing me literally 8 minutes and 58 seconds in when you said this. They will tell you how long your stuff needs to be. So just start doing it and then listen to your audience. That's what I was getting at.
Noted. Well noted, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Doe, what you was about to say? You forgot.
I also switch topics because
go ahead.
Because I was like, I know he said he does the blurred like the cosplay photography.
Yeah.
I see, like, do you actually cosplay yourself or have cosplay ambitions?
I have cosplay ambitions. The weird thing about what I do is I really hate being on camera. And as much as I love, like, attention and stuff when I'm at a con and I'm directing photo shoots, I don't like that kind of attention when I'm, like, literally the center of attention and like everyone's eyes on me, putting cameras and stuff on me. So because of that fear of being in front of the camera and seeing what cosplayers actually have to go through, has kind of prevented me. But and I'm going to say this, cosplay is a very expensive hobby.
Yes.
It is a very expensive hobby. Like, the stuff I want to cosplay as costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to make. Like, I want to be a Power Ranger, and I'm a heavyset dude, so I can't just get a regular Power Ranger Zentai suit that's made one size fit all for somebody, that's, Japanese body type. I can't do that. So I got to spend the extra money. Say what?
I got a great cosplay for you.
What's up?
Bob from Tekken, because he had
okay, that's what I was getting at. So I'm a huge Tekken player. I'm a huge Tekken player. Bob is my dude. Bob and Skinny Bob are on my list. I have a list of 10 cosplays I want to do. Is Bob, Skinny Bob, Cartman, obviously any heavyset Power Ranger now that there are some. There's some other stuff, Megazord, just because, like, I'm a big dude. I want to just kind of poke fun of that. People have been talking me out of doing exclusively fat people cosplay. I'm like, I guess. I mean, I don't mind poking fun at myself. I get it. I just want to be comfortable. But yeah, Bob is like my comfort cosplay. I just need some overalls and some blonde hair. That's all I need.
My dream, I have like 2 to 3.
Okay.
One of them's probably kind of itchy. Mine will be 1, Majin Buu. 2 would be Uncle Ruckus, because I'm already bald, so all I had to do is get like the little hair piece to go around, get a little contact. And the third one, this one I say is kind of edgy. It'll be Mr. Popo.
Okay. Funny story. So you see me again. I'm a big, light-skinned black dude. Back in middle school and high school, I used to get bullied a lot for being a big, light-skinned black dude. And one of the things people called me was Majin Buu, which confused the shit out of me, because I'm like, if you watch the show, to call this character Majin Buu, you wouldn't be calling me Majin Buu, because I'm going to go whoop your ass. So yeah, they would call me Majin Buu, make fun of me like, you're fat and pink, blah blah blah, and I'm like, have you seen Dragon Ball Z? Did you see Vegeta sacrifice himself and still lose? So yeah, I took that one with a badge of honor. Also, would love to cosplay as Majin Buu.
Hey, like I said, all you need is a little vest
Right, a little vest and some kind of pink thing on my head, and I'll be cool.
That's the hard part. That's the hard part, a little pink thing. So it's like, I would love to do that. Funny story. This is not a hazing incident, by the way. We had a guy. We have a frat brother. So at one point in time, like he was a heavier dude too. So like he used to do this thing where like he used to go just say "boo man," and it used to be the funniest thing ever. So it's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Man, I want to get into that same thing. I want to get into cosplay, but it's like when I don't be having the time, because most time when I'm going to cons, I'm going to walk around. I don't film a lot of content, but I do film content, and I feel like I sit there and do like questions and things of that nature. But like I told him, one of the ones I want to do Blackbeard. That's one of my ones I want to do. I get to walk around with my basically with my stomach out. You know what I'm saying? That's just something I want to do Blackbeard, and I would love to something that I want to do, and it's simple and it's easy. I just need a bow and arrow. I want to do the green poncho. And
that's
if you know
easy.
What green, exactly. That's if you know what the green. I love Craig of the Creek, and Omar the Green Poncho was like peak when I was like, dude, this is like I'm watching it with my kids. I'm a grown man. I'm like, this Omar, that's that dude. I wanted that. What?
Another easy one I just thought about. Senor Pink, One Piece.
From what's that? Who's he from?
One Piece. The dude that used to walk around with the bib in his mouth.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure I'm saying his name right because I ain't seen him in so long. I think it's like Senor Pink.
It's Senor something with him and I know him and from Frankie in a fighting, but yeah,
I
know you're
Senor
talking
Pink.
about. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing. I could probably pull off Queen.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie. A Senor Pink and Queen cosplay will go up.
We'll have to do. Look, we can't look. I got you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Hey, we here.
Yeah. So, but to redirect, because we'll get off on a tangent.
Yeah,
but we talked about some of the stuff your content and things of that nature. But hey, so this being a gaming podcast, I know you don't do a whole lot of game. I know you mentioned Tekken, so I'm assuming and Dub is he loves Tekken.
Platinum trophy. The phone posits came out. I went and got the Tekken phones. You know what I'm saying?
He loves Tekken as well. Yeah. So are you just a Tekken guy or you a fighting game guy?
I would say I'm a fighting game guy, but not every fighting game. Like I'm not gonna pick up stick on Street Fighter. Like you'll never see me do Street Fighter, but like Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, SNK versus Street Fighter, I'll do that. Melee, yes, I do count Smash Bros. Melee as a fighting game, especially the way how we played it in college. That was a fighting game, not a party game. Especially when we got to fighting in real life over that. Fighting games. I consider myself more fighting games, but like just overall, like I think I consider myself like a casual gamer because like I like RPGs, JRPGs, puzzlers, like rhythm games. I was big in rhythm games like DDR and Rock Band and all that stuff, Guitar Hero. I went to school for video game design. So I was supposed to be a coder in another life, but then I made the syntax error and I flipped a desk at school and never went back to programming class. And after that, I was like, nope, that's not the career path for me.
Now, I want to point something out.
Go ahead.
He's probably nice on the sticks. Like, at first, he kind of got me with the I don't play Street Fighter. But when he said I play Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, no average fighting gamer just plays Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. This motherfucker know what he's doing.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably suck at it now because it's been like a minute since I just sat down and just like even really played fighting games and stuff like that. Like I haven't even played Tekken 8 yet because I don't own a PlayStation 5 and it's never at any con I go to. It's been a minute since I played Soul Calibur. Now I think about it, that was another good one. But like back in my heyday, when I was actually good at it, I was known as a button masher. But I was skilled because like my characters were like Eddie. Eddie's a button mashing character. Christy's a button mashing character. But I took that with pride because I'm like, you can strategize off of being a button masher because your opponent can't predict what you're going to do. So that's how I took it, even though I knew combos. I can do 10-hit combos with certain characters, especially like with Bob, with Christy, because those were my mains anyway. The whole Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue thing, like, again, I went to the Fry in 2007. That's all what they played, and I had no choice. Melee, that's all what we played. Had no choice. And like, again, they my homeboys, love them to death, but they will shit talk you and dog you into the ground if you suck. So I had no choice but to be good to even play casually with them. They're going to tournaments and spending hundreds of dollars on tickets and things like that to be ranked in the state for Smash Brothers on the GameCube. You had to be really good.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a saying: shame makes people do better. I have me and my little squad. Whenever we're on the game, like case in point, we had a buddy of mine come in, start playing Call of Duty. I used to like, granted, I'm not the best Call of Duty player, but he was worse than I was. So I used to, bro, he suck, bro. Get this man, bro. Don't take the game back, like, bro. And now he pretty solid, bro. Shame will do it for you. Shame.
Yeah, it'll make you want to get good, man. It will. It
No,
will.
I agree.
Would you say,
I can
Mark?
agree to that. I said I agree to that. Like, you don't want to sit there and just like lose all the time and no one want to play with you because you're not even a competitive player. And like, we're grown men, we're not babies. You know, we're not going to like, oh, just let them win and stuff like that. You got to get good on the sticks. You got to get skilled. You got to level up if you want to compete and be taken seriously in the gaming industry or the gaming field, if that makes sense.
Oh, I agree. You like, I am not once again, I ain't the best Call of Duty player, but same thing. Like, if everybody that you game with, if that's what they playing and you want to play with them, you have to get good, or at least have to get to a point where you're decent enough to where you can compete. You ain't always in last place and all that other stuff. So
yeah, now, agreed. Like, have you ever like played online multiplayer games like with anyone in like South Korea or Japan? I would never want to be in those gaming lobbies because they will destroy you. That's how good at gaming they are over there in those countries, just because they grew up with games. They created the games that we were playing. So like, it makes sense. They like know it to a level that we have no comprehension of it. Like, frame syncing in a video game and you're sitting there trying to count frames of animation for your combos is crazy to me.
Whew. Bro, see, and for that reason right there, any game I play, my chat is always off. It's always off. Unless I have a party already that I'm with, like the homies, my chat is always off. Because if I decide to play as that game, you're not gonna talk grease to me, because at this point I can't even defend myself. So chat off. W's in the chat. But I had another question.
Go ahead.
But I also forgot said question, so I'm gonna let you say what you. I don't wait for it to come back.
Well, you did mention, Mark, like, you see the kind of the theme of our podcast. Me and Dub is my cousin. You know, and we grew up playing Pokemon. Pokemon is one of our favorite and beloved games. Like, to this day in time, like Pokemon Legends Z8 come out. We, you know, if I don't know nobody else that's playing it, Dub is gonna be playing. So you know what I'm saying? So that's something that we bonded over and still bond over to this day. And I know you're working. Last time we talked, you were working on a Nuzlocke. You still
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there on my sword. Copy of what I'm doing. But I'm more in Scarlet right now because of the Indigo Disc DLC. Like, I spent money on it. I might as well finish it. So that's what I've been focused on more. And then when I do have some free time to really explore a game, I put into Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay. Okay. So I did. I don't think I didn't ask you on your when I was recording your episode, but go ask you here.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, my favorite Pokemon of all time. Like if I had to only pick one.
Numero uno. Ichi.
Y'all ask the tough questions on this podcast. I think.
Well, how about this? How about let me help you out, because I know sometimes with it's 1,000. We it's Gengar. You know what I'm saying? It's over 1,000 Pokemon at this point now. So
right.
How about this? You don't even got to give me a full team, but give me like your top 3 or 5.
No, I'm gonna give you 14 because I caught you off guard with it on my show, so I prepared for this question specifically. I got a full team for you.
All right, bet. Let's go.
All right, so again, you know, I'm always strictly fire starter, so I'm gonna have a fire starter. More than likely, it's gonna be Blaziken as my fire starter, or the fire monkey dude, Infernape. Yeah. I'll go with Infernape for my starter. Definitely got to have a ghost type, and there's so many really cool, interesting ghost types. Gengar used to be my hands down my favorite ghost type, but he's not my favorite ghost type anymore. I'm gonna go with Ceruledge because I know I'm going with another fire type, but like Ceruledge, like on my Pokemon Violet run, my ace Pokemon. Love Ceruledge. That fire ghost, the way how it looked so sleek. It looked like a damn Digimon in a Pokemon game. And I'm like, all right, I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right, so for my water, I'm gonna just go old school and go Gyarados because like you can't go wrong with Gyarados. It was a classic, he's a legend. I know there are better water Pokemon in the game. It's a lot of water Pokemon in the game. But Gary too, that's my dude. So I'm gonna go with him. Number 4, gonna go Tyranitar. Hands down Tyranitar.
Can't go wrong with T-Tar.
Say what?
Godzilla, baby. I said you can't go wrong with T-Tar. That's Godzilla.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with T-Tar. Gotta have T-Tar on too.
It's Reptar.
Oh yeah. There you go, Reptar.
Reptar.
Yeah. Okay. And see, number 5. I like a good dragon. I'm a really good dragon person. I make sure I have a good dragon on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm torn between Jangmo just because it's a really cool, interesting dragon, like fighting dragon type, or like doing your classic, like give me like a Norbat or Dragonite or something like that. But I'm gonna go because I need a good grass on my team. I'm gonna go Alolan Executor for my dragon type.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I agree with that.
And to fill up the 6th slot because Fairy, like I know Fairy's really strong and overpowered, but I'm not a big fan of the Fairy typing. I'm gonna go Grimmsnarl, Fairy Dark typing, and that's gonna fill up my team.
Okay.
That is Grimmsnarl is a good one. See, I was thinking, damn, I forgot her damn name because like I said, so many. My girl with the hammer.
Tinkerton.
Yeah, that's one. If I was going with a fairy, that's what I'm rocking with.
Listen, as the first fairy that was shown off, which is probably the classic for me, is Sylveon. Like I like it. She don't have like all the style and the pretty, and she got all the bows and stuff. But when I tell you, she do work. Like in competitive, she do work. It does work, and I love the Jangmo pick as well. Back when I was doing you used to do competitive battles in Sun and Moon, man, you do some move and do clanging scales. I was just like it was so hard. Like you could hit like I forgot what power up you use a power up move, and then do clanging scales. And once that I get off like 1 or 2 of those, like I'm just going through your team. Going through your team, like so. But that's a solid list, especially and
I got the answer to my favorite Pokemon. It's hands down Lucario because I love seeing black representation in things you don't expect to see it. And when you look at it, Lucario's definitely a black Pokemon. Got dreadlocks and everything.
I just realized the dreadlocks when you said black Pokemon. I was like,
yeah,
but damn, that motherfucker do got dreadlocks, don't it?
yeah.
I have never realized that. See, my Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. I don't look at stats or nothing. I just go out how they look, how they make me feel. I like how you look. You be like, I know Gengar. Now that I've gotten older, his defense is fucking terrible. But I'm gonna rock with my guy.
Right.
I'm gonna rock with my guy every time. Like if I could get a starter Pokemon, I'm picking Ghastly every time. Knowing what I know, I'm picking my guy every time.
But you got to trade it away to get Gengar, so like you won't really have Gengar.
You better give me my shit back, or we can rob your ass. You better give me my guy back. Hey, send over that Machoke. I'm gonna give you my champ back. Give me my Gengar, bro. Give me my Gengar.
Oh man, hey, that's a solid team though. Solid team, man. And
I remember my question, by the way, but since we on Pokemon, I'm gonna wait.
You go ahead and ask me because I don't want you to forget it again.
Yeah. Okay, because I know you said you like RPGs and JRPGs. I was like, what's your favorite one? I'm a Persona guy. You know what I'm saying? Persona and Atlas, they had me in the chokehold these last few years. I keep trying to avoid the games, and next time I look up, I got like 300, 400 hours in the game. He didn't convince me to play Like a Dragon. So now we got to do like this gaming club thing. So it's kind of like, what's yours?
I'm gonna say hands down my favorite RPG. That's not Pokemon because technically Pokemon is an RPG, a JRPG. I'm gonna say Final Fantasy Tactics Advance for the Game Boy Advance. Because like, oh my god, like I had so much fun playing that. And I'm not even a big Final Fantasy fan, which is so weird why that's like my favorite RPG. But Final Fantasy Tactic Advance for the Game Boy, hands down.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you was gonna say Final Fantasy 10. I was gonna say, let's fucking go, because like I love Final Fantasy 10. I've bought Final Fantasy 10 probably every time it's redropped. I have it like on my Switch. I think I have it on my Switch, my PlayStation. I've had it on PS3, PS2. I think I even had an emulator on my Steam Deck. So like Final Fantasy 10 has a special place.
Gotcha. And then if I have to say a second one, and this is gonna be another weird choice, the South Park series, the Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole.
Listen,
really interesting RPGs.
So I have not played the Fractured Butthole. That is one of the games that's a bit on my list. But the Stick of Truth, listen,
is that the one where you fight God at the end? Morgan Freeman God?
I can't remember.
Like I feel like it was like Satan. Like Morgan Freeman was like one of those like it was like the final boss or something. He was like something like that.
So I can't remember exactly who you fight at the end of, but I remember playing through that some years ago. And I've been meaning to pick up Fractured Butthole and play through that because I know how good Stick of Truth is. Mm-hmm. And when I first picked up Stick of Truth, I wouldn't expect it to be because it's a turn based. It's a true RPG, so it's turn based. I'm like, man, and I started playing and the stuff that go on and everything. Like it is so much fun.
Yeah,
Stick of Truth, and like I said, I do, and I that reminds me that's gonna be our next game of the month. We playing the Fractured Butthole. After
I'm sorry. Every time I hear somebody say it, I'm just like the 13-year-old in me loves this, but the 37-year-old in me is like, calm that shit down. But yeah,
listen. But yeah, the Stick of Truth is good, and so is I imagine the Fractured Butthole is gonna be just as good, if not better, because you're playing your superheroes in that one,
right? Yeah. And like the Fractured Butthole, like the mechanics just run a lot smoother. The game pacing's a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's more like watching an episode of South Park spread out over like 12 to 25 hours, depending on how long it takes you to complete the game and stuff like that. All the inside jokes and everything that you expected from South Park up until that point is in there. All the references. It's a great game.
I'm looking it up now. It's on PS4. Of course you're gonna recommend something that's well, I guess I just get my Game Pass played on my Steam Deck.
It's on Game Pass? Oh, say less. Listen, I didn't know.
It's an Xbox Cloud game. It's on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Cloud Gaming, GeForce Now. Don't know what
so it might not be on. I have to check and see if it's on game. If it's not, I don't think it's It won't be super.
It say play now Xbox Cloud Gaming Premium subscription.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be. That's gonna be our next game after we finish.
Like a Dragon.
After we finish Like a Dragon. And yes, it is. It is in Game Pass. So yeah, we're gonna be playing. That's what we're gonna be playing right there. It say and how long to beat. Say it's if you do like just the main story, it's like 18 hours.
That's next. Or if your completion is around 28 hours.
8 hours. Yeah. So, or if you do like kind of a mix, it's like 22. So look at that. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all, man. That's what we're going next. Appreciate that, Mark, for the recommendation, good sir.
Yeah.
Good.
You're welcome.
So I take it if you've mentioned South Park a few times there for me and Cartman cosplay and everything. So who's your? I know if everybody watches South Park, everybody got like a favorite character. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, I mean, it's Cartman, hands down, it's Cartman. Because I was the asshole kid growing up, like in my friend group, so I related to Cartman so much. Not just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, but being an asshole to protect the people I care about, if that makes sense. So I constantly would be the Cartman of my group just to take the heat or deflect or whatever from the main group or whatever, especially when people was fucking with us. Because again, we black nerds, we sitting here playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering and getting bullied and shit, and I was just like, no, I'm sick of this. None of this.
I feel you. That's you're basically asshole for a good reason. So there's
asshole with a purpose.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So,
sure, let's go with that.
Listen,
let's go with that.
Look, coming from a fellow asshole, hey, I roll with you. I was for the longest before I used to be like when Twitter first started back in the day, and I was like my username was a hole and a gentleman. Like that was my ghost. That was it, and that's what I was. I was a gentleman, but shit, I was a asshole, and like plain and simple. Anybody would tell you, like, that Big Mo, he nice, but he an asshole too. Like it, you know what I'm saying? So I understand.
I ain't gonna lie, I have to censor myself because a lot of shit I be saying and thinking ain't nice.
We live in a day in the world. I'm gonna get canceled for what I'm about to say, so whatever. We live in a day in a world where it's not cool or trending to say your honest opinion because somebody might hear what your honest opinion is, and it might hurt their feelings. And I'm from the '90s, from the streets of Atlanta, and I'm kind of like, we need to go back to the tough skin. And people just need to be able to kind of toughen up a little bit. Like, I get it. Everybody needs to be represented and all this and that. That's not my issue. My issue is people should also still be allowed to have an opinion about something instead of having to cater and curve their opinion around what's PR at the time, if that makes sense.
I agree with you.
I say all that to say this. My favorite part of being an asshole is just going up to somebody and just being honest. Not even being an asshole, just being honest, but being called an asshole because the person can't handle hearing the truth. I did that with my boss at work and don't understand why I still have a job. But he respected me more for it, even though I lost respect for him as I was doing it. So that was fun.
What I'm saying, I tell people this all the time. America, we're overly opinionated and we're overly sensitive.
Very much
like I said, and I tell people all the time, if you're gonna be my friend, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Ain't gonna be no sugar. Like if you want to be in my close circle of friends, I'm gonna tell you the whole cold honest truth. Do I look fat? Yes.
Look, hey, but you know what?
You look good? No.
I'd rather you do that and then have me go out here looking like a fool. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, as someone who believes you need actual people around you, some true people around you that's not gonna lie to you because whatever the case may be. Like everything you ain't gonna always hear something that's gonna make you feel good or make you like. But I respect that. Tell me what it is. Tell me like it is, so that way you know what I'm saying. I know what to expect. Like I don't Don't sugarcoat stuff for me. Just go on tell me. Go on tell me. All right, I got you. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'll go back to the drawing board. I mean, if my feelings hurt, my feelings will be hurt. My thing is, I told my wife, and like, I may hurt your feelings, but I'll never break your heart. Like, and that's how, like, you know what I'm saying? Because in general, you with being married, you be around somebody basically all, every day, all day. It's you go get on somebody go get on somebody's nerves. You ain't gonna like somebody else. So somebody feelings some may get said, somebody feelings may get hurt, but guess what? Like, I still love you, ain't nothing changed. Like, I may be mad at you, whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, like, hurt feelings don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Folks got to get out of, being butt hurt. You go have your feelings hurt from time to time. Move on. You know what I'm saying? Move on. But
say something.
I digress.
Another reason, I ain't gonna lie to myself. Why would I lie to you?
Yeah. And that's the double-edged sword, because like I realize as a person, the hardest person to be honest with a lot of times is yourself. So like I try to like self-reflect a lot and look at how I am and how I come off. Don't know why we came down this tangent, but again, like it all comes back full circle in the end. But like, I don't know about y'all. I've always been in this constant state of who am I, and trying to figure out how to be, who to be, how to be, when to be, because of the eras in which we all grew up. All 80s, 90s babies grew up in the 2000s. We understand our disposition in this country. We understand the political climate we're under. And we're all, we went from this generation where it was okay to beat your kids and discipline your kids because it's rather that or they be in jail, to let them act out and destroy a goddamn Walmart because you don't know what's wrong with them or some type of what. We're in the participation trophy generation is what I call it. And as I'm getting older, I'm always trying to like change and be a better person, just self-reflect. And sometimes you realize you're changing because of the environment you're in, the situation, everything I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta realize you gotta change for your own betterment, your own self, and learn how to block out certain things. Now I lost what I was talking about. But I say all that to say, like, the whole asshole thing came out of necessity because I was bullied and picked on a lot because I was a heavy-set, light-skinned black nerd. I went from a public school that was like half black, half white to an all-black middle school and high school where you had to be on your P's and Q's. Like, everybody made fun of everybody. It didn't matter of how rich or how poor or big, fat, skinny. We all went to black school. You didn't fit in with whatever the main clique was. You was on the outside, regardless. It didn't matter. And you always had to, defend yourself. You always had to be ready to verbally fight, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's just how our culture was.
Correct.
And you went to school in Atlanta, right?
Say what?
And you went to school in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, the Cab County. Oh my God. Shit. Yeah.
The reason I asked to have somebody that says differently, but I digress. But also I have my master's in psychology, so like when you go down these rabbit holes, be careful because I might go down them with you.
Okay,
Mark.
All right.
Well, Mark, let's talk about that. Let's unpack that some more. Right?
Hey, I had to take psychology twice, so I know to stay away from people like you. I know to stay away. Trust me. But no, just again, like all of the personality stuff, everything we're talking about just came out of necessity of just flight or fight, your instinct to survive. I got tired of sitting there trying to chill with my homeboys after school, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, and then my $100 deck I just built from money I spent months saving up get thrown in the trash and cars getting ripped up in the confetti. I got tired of that. I had to learn how to stand up for myself. And the asshole persona thing just kind of came out. Like, people do not fuck with an asshole too often. What's that Team America quote? I'll remember it.
Somebody would end up dead if they would have did me like that. Somebody would end up dead.
Bruh, I kid you not. Like, I've had
I ain't
Like
gonna lie, that pissed me off. I was just thinking about it, like, what you did with my money, boy?
Man.
And if I can't whoop your ass, I'm calling somebody who can.
Exactly.
Bro, ooh, I'm just thinking about going to the flea market and buying cards. You know how much an Egyptian god card used to run back then? Bro, I remember buying a Genzo from the flea market. That shit was like $22.
Oh, memory unlocked. Oh my god. Yeah, memory unlocked.
Bro.
Leave that alone.
$22 for a Genzo, bro. Granted, as an adult, that's not too much money now, but it's like, bro, as a kid,
that was a lot.
Bro, that was a lot. My mama got me that Genzo. Mom, what chores you need me to do? So, and then, bro, I remember my Yu-Gi-Oh that got thrown away. My mom sold my dad a card, and my Yu-Gi-Oh cards were in the glove compartment. Instead of saying, "Hey, let me call and see if he wants these," this motherfucker threw them away. He threw them away. And I was somewhat like still scared of my dad, so I couldn't voice my frustration.
Yeah.
Dang. Boy, because I feel like he would have went off. I was like, bro, why the hell?
Luckily, I had one of those. My mom would do stuff like that, like throw away my stuff and not understand what it was. But my dad, being a geek himself, like knew, like, oh, these are collectibles. These are something he's going to care about long in his adulthood. So he definitely makes sure not to just throw out stuff unless it was like something broken or damaged or whatever. Or I just wasn't interested in it. But like he made sure, because he had like comics and things like that, and his brothers and sisters would like throw all his stuff. I've heard all the horror stories, so I'm glad to have my dad look out for me in that aspect.
Yeah.
Man, my dad was a country nigga from Selma. Well, is a country nigga from Selma. Oh, he like, bro, what you watch? Westerns. I can't stand John Wayne. What John Wayne do you, Dad? Man, I don't got no internet in the house. I be like, Daddy, go and get you some internet, and you use my Netflix stuff. We're gonna catch you up on some stuff, bro. The Western movie with Jonathan Majors, all
I know you're talking about the one on Netflix. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about. You can't think of the name of it, but it's
I showed him that shit, bro. Every time he came to the crib, he was like, "Hey, put on that, bro. We're not gonna run this into the ground. You go watch one. Go watch one of the other goddamn westerns, but we ain't finna." And there was another one that came out in 2000. The Harder They Fall. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
So it was that came out in 2000. Every time he came to the house, he was trying to watch. It's like, bro, let me put you on something else, bro. Like, you don't watch Eva 8 or Sinister 8, whatever it's called. Like, bro,
8 for 8.
Yeah. Watch something else, bro.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to keep you too long, Mark. I just want to we want to thank you for coming on. But before we go, one more time, man, tell everybody where they can find you, and everything. And just once again, talk your shit. Tell everybody where they can find you. Tell them about what you do and everything else.
All right. Again, first of all, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it so much. This has been a blast. Surprisingly, I don't get to be a guest on too many people's podcasts, so this is like kind of new to me. So I'm still trying to figure it out. But I am Marc. I am Blerography. You can find me everywhere on the interwebs, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Red Note, Lemonade, Fanbase. What's that other one? Blue Sky. If it's just Google Blerography and just go follow everything. It's the same thing because I understand branding.
Yeah. Well, you see it here. I put it on the screen for everybody to see, man. Make sure y'all please go follow my guy Marc from Blerography. Check out his podcast. It's called the Blerdcast, right?
Yeah, Blerdcast.
Yeah. Check his Blerdcast, and that's on all podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google, and all those, and Spotify.
Yeah. Everywhere that the podcast can be, and I'm working on a couple other things later on this year, so I can be on even more. But I'm on the main platforms: Google, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music. Yep, I'm on the big ones. But before we go, I got a question for the two of y'all, since this is a gaming podcast, and gaming has exploded so much over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
What is the one aspect of gaming that has changed to you the most, rather positive or negative, from when you was a kid to now? What is the one aspect of gaming that has changed?
I can give you three. I give you three.
Well, let me give you my one first before you jump off. And so one aspect.
You probably hit one. You probably hit one.
Yeah, I would say if you probably might more than likely, but one aspect is can be a positive and negative, but how everything is switched to digital content now. You don't instead of having to go to 12 o'clock releases on a certain going out of GameStop in the middle of the night or whatever to get a certain game. Now, granted, those were fun and awesome, but the game gets released. Oh, it's available now. I can download it, pre-install it, so I can start playing it soon as whatever time. I ain't got to go nowhere. Like that has changed so much. I remember distinctively standing in line at GameStop with everybody else, talking, chatting. From Madden to Titanfall to GTA 6 to all, like, so many games, standing in line to get the new game out there to immediately go home and put it in, let it load up, and start playing or whatever the case may be. And people don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Like unless it's a console for real, most times people don't do that no more. Like and even with consoles, you order them a lot of times, they ship it to your house. It arrive at your house the day it's supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? Or either a day before or whatever. But like, they don't do that anymore. And like, I miss it. But at the same time, you can't beat not having to get up. If you want to change to another game, just back out, boop, go to another. I ain't got to put nothing in. I ain't got to pour nothing out. You know what I'm saying? It's right there.
And you're less likely to get robbed by them YNs too.
With them switches.
Yeah, with one of them switches.
But yeah, that's my one. Doug, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna make mine quick. One, it's also been studies showing that gaming can actually improve your mental health and actually kind of improve like anxiety and performance. And even it's saying like doctors are more efficient. Doctors that game are more efficient with surgeries when they game. So that's one, like, it actually pours over into like other aspects of life. So when women be like, "Oh, I won't no do that game," you want somebody that doesn't do well at their job. That's what it sounds like. But anyway, that's one. Two, fuck live service. It's free, but yeah, fuck live service, because games like 2K you have to pay for. 2K should be free. If I'm a special amount of dollars VC, I can't even play my play without dropping racks of VC to make them look good, play good, stylish dunks, and all that good stuff. And the last thing, rewind. 2K has also messed up other games. Just look at stuff like Fortnite, Call of Duty. I feel it even poured over to like DLC, because everybody has a DLC when you could have put that shit in the original game. But as I continue, last one. It actually kind of made people closer, if you make sense. Because like I said, I'm from Alabama. I stay in LA, bro. I can game with all my friends, and it's kind of like, even though they're not on the couch with me, they're like here with me.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a beautiful thing. I don't have to share my screen no more. Nothing was worse than playing 10K83 on a split screen. Playing Call of Duty Zombies on a split screen. Like, yeah, that camaraderie with you being in a room is cool, but like to have like your whole screen to yourself and you can still play with your friends, like I said, that innovation was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Couple things. So the physical media, that's a blessing and a curse. Like, on the one hand, yeah, it's cool to just have everything on your console and you can just switch back and forth. But then when servers start going offline and the companies start going into your hard drive and deleting your content that you paid money for, I'm not cool with that. So I prefer physical media over the digital media, like, any day. And especially like you said, midnight releases and things like that. I love that. Like, I wish we could go back to that. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can just order something, come straight to my house too. But sometimes the internet can make us complacent. Technology can harm us in ways that we don't expect. Like, spell check. When spell check came out, people forgot how to spell because we just look for the autocorrect or whatever.
Available with my ass. Available with my ass.
Another thing you brought up, microtransactions, or I guess y'all didn't really bring it up. I'm not a big fan of microtransactions. I love back in the day where all the content of the game was on the disc. You just had to be good at the game to get all the content versus give me another $30. Here's the Indigo disc.
I don't like that either.
So yeah.
Just to your point, Mark, I get what you're saying about physical and digital. However, I don't know if a lot of people don't remember this, but for a little bit there before everybody started going digital, as digital started being a thing, they were still like Sony was, or I think it was Sony. It was some people that was putting in disc where you couldn't trade the disc in. Like once they still own, like it was something they was doing where you couldn't trade disc in. Like it would only work once you bought it. It would only work for yours. Like you couldn't give it to somebody else. Like and they will say even with us buying digital, and if you buying physical, they still have ways because you got to think about it nowadays. You have to download the game to put. Even if you got this, you still got to download the game. Like
they want patches and stuff like that. Oh my god, that's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So they still have ways of doing little stuff like that, man. But I agree with you. I hear exactly and I understand exactly what you're saying. But yeah, great questions though.
Quick case in point, I have a buddy of mine. He buys like physical media copies of like DVDs he likes.
Yeah.
He bought Avengers, and like I think it was Avengers. He said they had deleted scenes on there.
Yeah.
But they did some shit where he went on there and there wasn't no deleted scenes on there no more.
Wow.
It might have been Justice League. It might have been Justice League, the Snyderverse. I feel like he said something about it was the deleted scenes on there. But he was like, yeah, they'll post some deleted scenes from that motherfucker, especially that licensing shit kind of get a little rocky.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. The fact that the media companies have the power to even go and delete stuff off of physical media like that, which, hey, brings us back to the 90s, I guess the greatest decade of human innovation and technology. Like VHS tapes can never do that with something like that. But again, it's just a result of the society we all live in that none of us chose to live in. Just here participating in it.
But then again, nothing beats that ass whooping that was waiting for you when you accidentally recorded over your mama's soap operas on that VHS tape.
That's true too. It's give and take. All right, I get it. It's give and take. There's a lot of modern advancements that are good, but are also bad. But a lot of stuff from back in the day I missed. But also wasn't that great either.
I wish.
Like that floppy disk. But I'm gonna shut the fuck up because we were down memory lane.
Exactly.
You remember Chia Pets?
But once again, everybody, make sure y'all go follow my guy Mark over at Blerography on all social media platforms, man. Please check out his content. But once again, Mark, we thank you for being a part of this and just stopping by and coming on the show, man. We really had a good time and a really good conversation. Just want to let you know, I'll let you know ahead of time too in case you want to come back. But at the end of the year, we do a end of the year episode. We kind of bring back all of our guests if we can. But I'll let you know, it's usually after Christmas. But before New Year's, and we do like come in, just talk about the year, the gaming stuff we played this year, things of that nature. But yeah, so just I'll let you know about it, man, as it gets closer or whatever the case may be. But as always, about to get up out of here, man. We appreciate everybody. But as always, y'all be great. We out.
Peace.
Peace.